Hello YouTube, EpicVIolinGuy here with your 5th TI Basic Programming tutorial. Today we're going to be learning about conditionals in the CTL menu of the program editor on the TI-83 and 84 and a couple of other calculators. So first, before we learn about conditionals, we have to ask ourselves, what is a conditional? Well, in this context, it means a couple of the keywords that are in the CTL menu that can be classified as conditional keywords. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show my little emulator here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and we're going to make a new program. I'm going to call it, what should I call it? CONDIT NO. How about conditional? Because I can't fit that many letters in the title. So here's our new program, Conditional, to demonstrate the conditional keywords. Now on the TI-83, or actually many TI calculators that are programmable, you have the program menu in the CTL tab. The conditionals include if, then, else, is greater than, and ds less than, and that's it. So those are the conditionals. And what that means is it tests if something is true or not, or if something is occurring in your program or not. And if it does, then it does something, and if it doesn't, then it does something else. So let's go ahead and give in a couple of examples. So let's start with if. Now the way if works is you say if, and then some sort of a conditional, or a conditional statement, I should say, and conditional statements always result in a true or a false. Now, this uses logical operators, which are under math, actually second math, which is under test. So you have equals, not equals, greater than or equal to, less than, and less than or equal to. And in our logical operators, we have and, or, exclusive or, and not. Now we can use these a little bit later. So back in our conditional program, so let's see. What if I want to say if 5 is greater than 3, then I want to display all good. And so if I run this program, it will say, let's see, it'll take a look at this if keyword, and it'll say, okay, this is a conditional statement. So this next thing is evaluated as a true or false. So it checks to see if the value of 5 is greater than the value of 3. And if it is, then it will execute the next line of code. And if it isn't, then it'll just skip it altogether. So let's go ahead and run this. Now, as far as I know, 5 is greater than 3. So this should print out our displayed text, and it does. We're all good. Now, what if I want to do, or what if I want to say, what if 5 isn't greater than 3? What if something is wrong with this calculator? Well, then I can say else. Let me check that yeah, this is correct. Wait. Actually, before I get into else, let's talk about then. Now, the way then works is it makes it so you can group lines together in your if body. Let me check my recording time. I hope I'm not going over. All right, we're good. Oops. Okay. So, but I need to hurry up and get on to some other things. So let's see, where was I? So if 5 is greater than 3, oops, sorry, derp. Let's go ahead and insert a line here. Oops. Delete. Insert. Okay. So I can say then. Now, if I do this, then every line that comes after then will be executed if this is true. So let me add a couple more lines. Yep. Smiley face. But what if this isn't true? Well then, otherwise, this means if this statement is false, then execute the following lines instead of the preceding lines. So then we'll display this. Uh-oh. And just like this, you can put multiple lines. Now, where the keyword end comes in is this terminates a group of statements. So if I say end, that's the end, basically. And then I can move on to other stuff in the program. So if I execute this, 5 is greater than 3, so it prints out those 3 lines. Now what if I say if 5 is greater than 21? Well, that's not true, so then it will execute this statement. So I execute the same thing. Oops, what did I do? Oh, oops, don't know how that happened. Somehow I got a stray end. Oh, that sounds funny. Alright, uh-oh. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to some other conditionals for now. Just going to clear this thing out. Okay, so now, how much time do I have left? 8 minutes. I'm gonna leave this thing up here. I hope you guys. I just want to make sure that I don't go over. So, the next thing we have our ifs, thens, and elses. The next thing that we have to look at is increment skip and decrement skip, or is greater than and ds less than. I'm going to go over to the CTL menu, scroll down, it is it's letter A and B. Now let's take a look at increment skip. Now the way this works is you give it a variable, say A, and a number, say 4. And how this works is this works as sort of an if statement, but instead of its arguments, it will increment A by 1, and then if A is greater than 4, that will skip the next statements, otherwise it will do it. So how about I display A plus 1 is less than or equal to 4. Alright, well there you go. So let's just do that. And let's, I think A is already started off as 0. I'm already up to 10 minutes. Oh no, A is 4. That's a coincidence. So 0 store to A. Alright, so let's do this thing. Oop, what did I do? I guess I didn't need an end there, sorry. Okay. So, go. Alright, a plus 1 is less than 4. Okay, go. Oh, same thing. Okay, go. Go. Oh, didn't print it out. I wonder why. Well, that's because every time I execute the program, it's permanently incrementing a, or it increments and then it stores a into the a variable, or it stores that value into the a variable on the calculator. And so that a is passed from execution to execution, and eventually every time we execute it, well, every time I execute it, it increments by 1, but after I execute it enough times, a has grown larger than 4. So at that point, when it tests it, when it increments it and then increments it and then tests it to see if it is greater than 4, it is greater than 4, so it skips. So thus increment skip greater than. Now, conversely, not sure if that's the correct word to use there, we have ds less than, or decrement skip less than. Now this works in the opposite way. Now, first of all, what is a? A is now 5. So knowing that, let's decrement a and see if it is less than 2. So we'll do the same thing here. I better hurry this up because I don't want to go over 15 minutes. I can say a minus 1 is greater than or equal to 2. Actually, this time I'm going to go ahead and display a as well, just so you can see what's happening to a every time. So here we go. A minus 1 is greater than 2 because it's 4. A minus 1 is greater than or equal to 2 because now it's 3. A minus 1 is greater than or equal to 2 because it's now 2. And now it didn't print this out because it skipped that line of code. So it decremented and then it tested it, but because 1 is less than 2, or because a, which is 1, is less than 2, it skipped that line of code and just went directly on to the program, which the next line was display a. Now, one last thing, how decrement skip and increment skip work. You have ds less than parenthesis variable value, and then on the next line you have a command, and this will be executed if the answer is greater than or equal to the value, and this will be executed no matter what. Now, on the other hand, increment skip, imagine this was, or I'll just change it. Now you have increment skip, you have variable value, and then this is executed if the answer is less than or equal to the value, and this is executed no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there because the video is running a little bit long. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. This is EpicVIolinGuy signing off, and I will see you in the next tutorial or whatever I do on this channel. Thank you for watching once more, and I will see you guys later.